So, Max, this is episode 1 of the Magazine Podcast.
The Magazine Podcast? That's what you're going with?
Yeah, I think so. I want it to become...
Now, did you mull this over?
No.
Because we talked about this 2, 3, 4, 5 months ago.
Yeah.
And I told you to enact a plan.
You did.
You're a pure musician. You're very flighty. You're very in the cosmos. But sometimes you got to come down to earth and you have to get a plan. Now, you have a plan with your band, but you don't have a plan with your podcast.
I had an idea with no substance.
Because that's going to get you far.
Yeah, that's why I'm not anywhere. I thought we could do a podcast and have it be entertaining.
Right.
Maybe people would download it and find it funny.
Sure.
And I had a vision, and it was absolutely empty.
Well,
So-
you're a beachy guy. You're much more involved with getting on a boogie board and floating out in the water. You're into salt water. You've probably swallowed a lot of salt water. You swim with whale sharks. You're spoiled rotten. You get to go to all these beautiful exotic places, and you walk around in flip-flops. So, you really have no credibility.
That's true, and I'm also totally unknown, but it doesn't mean I'm not a man of an idea.
No, you have ideas. I'm going to give you that. So tell me about your show.
So my thought was, what the hell am I going to do?
Why did you have that thought?
I wanted to create something entertaining for people. I listen to podcasts. I listen to all kinds of podcasts.
What do you listen to? Who do you like?
I like Terry Gross, Fresh Air.
Okay.
I like Mark Maron.
Yeah.
I like The Treatment with Elvis Mitchell. I love the podcast by what's his name? The comedian. He was also in A Few Good Men. The actor.
Kevin Pollak.
Yeah, love the Chat Show. I love the Chat Show. So I'm thinking, I'm in a band. We're going nowhere.
Now, that's a terrible thing to say about your band.
Well, my point was, I love the band, but am I only a drummer? I thought I might have another idea. I know you're an entertaining guy. I thought there might be some magic, thinking we get together, we have some wine, we put a couple mics up, and we see what happens.
Worst premise for a podcast ever.
It sucks. I would not listen to this.
All right, so you're doing all right. This is your Maiden Voyage. Don't be so hard on yourself.
Well,
talk about the sea. We're out there in the sea. I'm not saying talk about the sea. I'm saying speaking of the sea, as we were talking about earlier, you're out there. You're giving it a shot. Nothing may come of this. So what's your first... The show's called Magazine. Now, why is it called that?
it's called Magazine because I was inspired by Peter Gabriel.
Oh.
And when Peter Gabriel went solo, he was asked in an interview, what do you want your solo albums to be like? And he said, I want my albums to be like a magazine, where every album would be like a new issue of the magazine. And every song would be different, but it would still be relevant to each other, almost like stories in a magazine. I thought, well, that's a great idea. So I thought this podcast could be a magazine where it wouldn't be an interview show, but maybe an interview could be a part of it.
Lorenzo, can I interrupt you for a moment?
Sure.
It's me, Peter. I don't remember ever saying that about my records.
I love you, Peter, but I have to disagree.
Now, do you think I'm very Uncle Festery, or do you think I'm still the handsome, beautiful, blue-eyed man I once was?
I think you're kind of a handsome Uncle Fester. I love you to death, trust me. But,
You didn't go see him and Sting at the
I didn't. I wanted to, actually. I heard
That's enough.
Yeah, well...
How many more times do we have to see these guys? Especially Sting. I have no interest in him. What did I like him in? I liked him as Dr. Frankenstein in The Bride.
He was
That's about
good.
it.
Right.
That's about it. I've never been a police guy. I hope that's not too insulting for you, but...
I love the Police.
What songs do I like by the Police? No.
Roxanne?
No. Okay, I'll tell you what. I like that song with the candles. Message in a box. No, that's not the one. What's the one where he's hitting the candles?
In the video, he's hitting the whole 20,000 candles.
Yeah, there's all those. It's Message in a Bottle, isn't it?
No.
Message in a bottle. No. What is that? There's candles everywhere.
Right.
And he's barefoot and he's wearing khaki pants.
Right.
He's wearing sunglasses.
Yes. You know what? Email us. Go to our website, email us, and you tell us the name of that song.
I'll be wrapped around
That's it.
your finger. Ba-na-na-na. Oh, 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 oh. That's the one.
That's the one.
That's the one.
I love that song. It's a great song. But you know, Sting has a winery in Tuscany.
No.
Did you know that?
No.
And he makes his own wine. And
well, he probably just puts his name on it. He's not out there making it.
Apparently, he pays a crew of people, I'm sure.
Of course. It's a vanity project.
Yeah, it's true.
When these celebrities start making wine, all they're doing is hiring a bunch of people to make them look cool.
I'm going to taste it, though. And he gives free concerts in his winery.
All right, well, that's cool.
You know. So.
And does he do yoga and all that?
He does. Yeah, he does. I think that's why the grapes are kind of floating.
I don't want to see him at the bowl.
Well, it's over anyway. You don't have to.
Okay, good.
Do you want to see him on a bowl?
What, like on the toilet?
Yeah.
That might be interesting.
Okay, well, I know you.
I wonder if, what does that mean?
Well,
I don't want to see a guy on a toilet.
What?
Why would I want to see that?
We'll get into that later.
Okay.
Okay. So, I do want to say,
Yeah.
I'm really happy you're here.
Thanks.
You know, you listened to my idea. You didn't balk at it. You weren't.
Why would I balk at it?
You weren't crazy about it, but you said yes. You're here. We're doing a podcast. Again, there's no agenda, but the future, I want to get interesting interviews, you know, people that are different walks of life. We'll get musicians. We'll get some actors maybe. We'll get people off the street, maybe a stripper here and there, and we'll mix it up. We'll make it a magazine.
Okay.
Now, shifting gears, I saw something close, near, dear to your heart. We love rock documentaries.
Yes.
I love them. You love them. The more insane, the more arcane, the better.
Yeah.
I saw one by a band called The Jam, or it's about the band, but
Right.
called The Jam. It's called About the Young Idea. And it's about...
That's a very awkward title.
It's a bizarre title. I didn't quite get the title in relation to the movie, but the movie's great. And it gives you the whole backstory of the Jam, which I thought was really interesting. They were incredibly influential, more in the UK than in America.
Right.
As a matter of fact, they came to America, realized their song was #1 in the UK, quit the tour, and flew back to the UK to continue. So they didn't really care about being big here, but they were really influential. And then when you see the documentary, you can hear a lot of their music in like Green Day and a lot of the post-pop punk bands.
Oh, they're interviewed?
Yeah.
So are they punk?
Yeah, they're punky.
What's a song by the Jam? I'll be wrapped around your finger. Did they do that one?
No, but you can hear the influence in the Police. Early
Oh.
Police is absolutely influenced by the Jam. You can totally hear it.
Oh, I'll tell you another Police song I like. Another suburban friendly morning. That's a cool song.
Yeah.
That's a cool song.
All right.
Synchronicity 2.
Yes.
I like that
Yeah.
one.
I think that whole album is great.
So what's a song by the Jam?
Song by the Jam, one is called Underground.
Okay.
That was
how's that go?
that was really big.
What, you don't sing?
No, I'm the drummer. I don't sing.
How does it go?
Underground. A lot of British accent here.
All right, stop.
All right, I know.
I don't know what that song is.
But
What's
I
another
would
song?
I would go to YouTube and look it up.
What's their most famous song?
Their most famous song, that was actually one of them.
Okay.
And another one I believe was called something about growing up with angst.
Good Lord.
Yeah.
Was it the...
No, that was...
That's not the Jam?
That's the Knack.
Oh, the Knack.
Yes.
I'm so tired. All right.
So for those
So
listening...
you recommend it, and what's
Yes.
it called again?
It's called About the Young Idea.
Okay, so if this was your magazine and you were the publisher, you're the Larry Flint of this thing.
Yeah.
Your magazine opens up. Who's on the cover?
It's on the cover of my magazine. Well, actually, probably the first issue, just for shock value, me and you.
Hey, I like that.
You know,
I
just
was
me
hoping
and you,
you'd
a couple of knuckleheads.
Okay.
No one knows who they are.
Right.
And we're kind of freaky looking.
Right.
So
Right.
it'd be like, okay, I'll check this out. I would open up that magazine.
All right, so we've opened the magazine, and the first page is the table of contents.
Yeah.
And Lorenzo on this movie about the Jam. Well, that's not what the headline would say, but essentially we've gone into the Jam thing. That's good.
Yeah.
I think you're off to an okay start.
All right.
So
It's just,
now what do you want to talk about?
Just okay, huh?
No, it was all right. It was all right.
Okay.
Maiden Voyage.
It is.
You're getting in there. You're getting your toes wet. You're dipping your toes.
All right.
All right.
Okay. Now, I'm not trying to make you feel...
I'm looking right at his toes because he wears flip flops.
Well, I do. I like flip-flops.
Do you get mani pedis?
No.
Okay.
No. No.
Take it easy.
No, I have nothing against Mandy Patties.
I got a
Do
mani
you?
pedi. Yeah, I
All
got
right.
one a couple weeks ago, and I have Fred Flintstone feet, and I also have a bit of a wine gut. So like when I bend over to clip my toenails, it's a lot of work, and but I'm working on I'm always working on the belly, whatever. But I'm putting my foot in this large Asian woman's, Taiwanese woman's breasts.
Oh.
And I'm trying to I don't want to be disrespectful because I'm pressing my foot up against her giant, squishy boobs. And I'm like, well, I don't want to be disrespectful, so I'm going to keep pulling my foot away. Well, that's not the premise
Right.
of a pedicure. The idea is you got to stick your foot in her face. So she keeps grabbing, and now she's pulling me, and I'm sliding down in the seat towards her. And she wants my big, fat, disgusting Fred Flintstone foot in her tits.
Wow.
And she's, and boy, oh boy, I can't even imagine the ricocheting of the toenails.
Right.
Ba-ding, ba-ding, ba-ding.
Are they hitting her nostril and hitting her eye?
Oh, and she loves it. And she put goop and cream and all kinds of crap, balms and psalms and all kinds of shit on my foot. And she's getting it all over her blouse.
Do you see a little nipple excitement as this is going on? Are
No,
you turning her on?
She's very Jabba.
Are you getting
Jabba the
turned
Hutt-y.
on?
What? No.
Oh, okay.
No. I'm looking at the other women.
All
getting. But here's the problem. So now it's a salon full of women. You got all the women working on you. You got all the women being worked on. Now she breaks out the foot scraper.
Right.
Okay, I'm very ticklish. So I started laughing. Woo, 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 wee, woo. I'm Cesar Romero as the Joker in this thing. And she's going, and I hate that. So that was tough. But once she dunked my foot back, but your toenails look pretty good.
I manscape pretty well.
You don't have to actually shove your toes in my face.
Well,
like you just
I
did.
wanted you to.
I'm good.
All
Thank
right,
you, though.
all right.
But I see they're
I can
very
put
nice.
I can put my foot in your breast if you want.
They're very nice.
Okay.
All right, so now we're into the magazine and we're captivated. So what do you got?
I have a lot of interesting things to say, and they're all coming to me at
No,
once.
I have a lot of interest.
That's very true. That's very
But
true.
this isn't my show.
Well, it's our show. You're not here as my guest.
Well,
although I want to say
that wasn't the premise. I
the
signed up for.
well-
I looked at my contract on the way over here.
no, your contract has been ripped up and torn. We're doing this together.
All right.
It's not Lorenzo's magazine, with starring.
Well, then I wish I knew that because I would have come prepared.
Well, I didn't want you to be like my Annie Richter and I'm Conan O'Brien. I want it to be together.
Okay.
It's not about you, not about me. It could be about us.
Okay.
We hang out a lot. We have similar interests. We
Yeah.
love music, and we love rock and roll, and we love nature, and we love travel, and we love weirdos, and we love.
There's another documentary I want to see, by
Yeah.
the way. It's about the damned, and I haven't seen that yet, but I think that's on Amazon. I spend a lot of time, I think, watching stuff these days because I don't want to go out into the world anymore. I don't think there's any reason to.
Right.
And it's too dangerous and it's too horrible. And I'm ready to die, but I'm not ready to be blown up or run over with a truck or stabbed or
Right.
shot. So I think everything you can find in the comfort of your home behind locked doors with the security alarm on.
Right.
The problem is if you sit too long, you'll get blood clots in your body. So I've got to find a way to stand up and stretch out and move my body
Right.
when I'm engaged in, a cool rock documentary.
But is this the desire to not leave your house? Is this fear, or is this you're sick of humanity?
Yes.
And you do not want to be in the masses.
I
you
really
don't want
have
to
no
look
fear
at
anymore.
another human being.
I don't. I've reached my apex on humanity, and it's so funny. When I plan a social week now, it's very limited versus what it used to be. This week's a little thick, but if I'm gonna venture out into the world, it has got to be a really good reason to. It has to. If I'm gonna go see someone, it has to be someone I am deeply fond of enough to get out of my house, get into my car, sit in traffic, suffer the tortures of the damned, get over to them, get inside their house. And mind you, I show up with a bag full of my own things. I have pillows and wipes and Excedrin and water, because no one's serving water at houses anymore.
No.
And I want to be comfortable all the time. So I'm walking around with canvas bags full of wares.
So you would go to someone's house for a 2-hour, and you bring a suitcase, basically.
Yeah.
It's like you're staying for 2 hours,
Oh, yeah.
but you pack for a year.
Mouth spritz, lip balm. I mean, anything to make me more comfortable.
So you're the worst guest ever.
No, I'm actually wonderful because I always show up.
And you need nothing.
I need nothing.
You're
but
self-contained.
I'm self-contained, but I always show up with wonderful wines.
Wow.
I always show up, with love and readiness. But no, man, if I'm going to go out, boy, oh boy, I better have a good reason.
Do you bring your own food to restaurants?
I barely eat out anymore. Well, that's not. Let's see.
I thought you ate all the time.
Oh, you know what? I went out last Saturday night. I went out last Saturday night. Damn it, I went out. I had dinner. My wife and I had dinner with another couple. Mm-hmm. That never, ever happens. Sometimes we have dinner with you, but that's usually like twice a year.
Yeah, not a lot.
If even.
Right. Because we hate all the things that you bring all the time.
Yes. Or we go out, my wife and I, but she got really good about not scheduling stuff ever. Because she got to a point, I'll tell you what, she got to a point where once that Groupon thing hit,
oh yeah,
oh boy, she didn't realize, she got in over her head.
She's a queen.
She
a
would
Groupon
buy
queen.
10 Groupons. Buy one get one free, one entree get one, whatever.
Right.
Restaurants, museums, wine tasting. Next thing you know, we're overloaded. There's too much going on. There's too many Groupons.
Right.
There's too many events. We burned out catastrophically.
Wow.
And I sat her down and I said, listen, you're addicted to Groupon. It's a problem. I know you want to save money. I know this is a great opportunity to do that, but I can't go out every weekend. So we're going to go out every other weekend. So like last weekend, we went out, had dinner, saw a play. Mm-hmm. That's it. This weekend, nothing. And people in my life still are inviting me out on Sundays. And I don't go anywhere on Sundays.
That's your day of rest.
That is my sacred church day of rest and hiding and hibernation, and leave me the fuck alone.
Watching movies, drinking.
Yes! And just closing up and putting on that alarm and getting the dogs on top of me and shutting everything out.
And then after you do that, are you ready for the week on Monday? Are you recharged and ready to not see people again?
Yes.
Okay.
And then by Monday, I kind of try to not schedule Mondays. Because I need a little rest.
So every other
for
Thursday
the week.
between 2 and 3, you're available.
Yeah.
You can go outside.
Yeah. And I get overwhelmed now because, I double book something. I'm like, oh, shit. My friend has a birthday. Mm-hmm. And yet I've already arranged to have lunch with another friend. So the friend who has a birthday wants to see me on the day with the lunch with well, maybe I can do both. I can't do both.
Right.
I can't do both. I can't do both.
And now the Groupon thing, once you buy the Groupon and you spend that money, you have an obligation. Because the last thing you want to do is not use the Groupon.
Right.
So now you're like, your
The
wife
pressure.
she's made your life pressured
Lorenzo,
to have so much fucking
pressure
fun. You have to have fun now.
Overwhelming.
You have to go horseback riding, and you have to go
Oh
IndyCar
my
racing,
God.
and she has a Groupon for mani
Horseback
patties,
riding.
and there's a Groupon for making,
Wait, what was that other Groupon?
for mani patties.
Yeah.
She has
It actually was a local deal. I don't think it was a Groupon because she's off the Groupons.
Good.
I got her off them. But
good man.
But no, it was definitely a local deal. Like, support your neighborhood salon, and go get your feet scraped.
Right.
Terrible.
Let's put all this in context. One thing we haven't said is actually where we are. We are podcasting from Los Angeles.
Yes.
So our lives are here. So going out into the Los Angeles, ozone and Neverland, walking the streets, it takes a piece of work. It takes effort to deal with all the different varieties of attitudes you're going to get walking the street.
Yeah.
And it's getting worse and worse. And I get what you're saying.
Yeah.
But I think if you're too much of a hermit, then even just the little, human interactions are going to freak you out.
Yeah, you because social media is not going to cut it.
No.
And you become a shut-in. You really do, and you become oddly antisocial. But I tell you what, my social skills, I believe, are always very razor sharp because understand. You see, you don't do anything. You live in fantasy world. I have to go out and grocery shop. You don't grocery shop. I don't even know how food gets into your house. So I'm talking to people at the supermarket all the time.
Fairy or something? The groceries and life, and I want a new couch. It just all falls from the sky for me.
Did you get a new couch?
No.
Oh.
But I'm just saying, in your concept of what
Yes.
happens to me, I am just a floating, ethereal, phantasm.
It is so good. It is so good to be in Santa Monica. Time to ride the waves. Oh, next thing you know, I have to go to Cooks and Caicos, and then I'm going to Hawaii.
Poor baby. But I'm out there in the streets. I'm in the trenches.
Do you live in a trench?
Well,
I've been to your place. It's nice.
So you don't like people either, though.
I think I do a little more than you, but I have my anti-people days.
Right.
Yeah. I can definitely be alone for a while.
Right.
And this is great because you and I can talk. We're in a room by ourselves.
Right.
We've got a couple of mics.
Right.
We're not looking at anybody besides
Right.
us. We don't have to see anybody.
Right.
We're not hearing anybody.
Right.
So doing this is cool.
This is cool.
Because this is our own little world.
Yeah.
And I'm sure.
And it's dark and
It's
cool.
dark
in here. You
and
have
cool.
The AC running, and you got cool posters on the wall.
We're in my studio, where my band rehearses in the bowels of Los Angeles.
Yeah.
And I've got my heroes on the wall. I've got Bob Marley and Talking Heads and Neil Young and Zappa.
Well,
and,
you're a musician, so
these people inspire me.
You and
Well, let me ask you, who inspires you?
oh God,
You're at home, you're alone, you don't want to see people, but there are people that you love.
are we talking about these days?
Yeah.
Who inspires me? Well, what realm are we talking about?
Anything.
I'm trying to think who inspires me these days. Huh. Like, what do you mean by inspire?
I mean, even someone living that you see an interview or you read an article and you think, that person is so cool. That person has an effect on me. It could be a musician, it could be someone in entertainment, it could be someone historical. Because I know you and you're an eclectic guy.
Well, listen, I have major heroes. If that's what we're talking about, I mean, I don't know. The problem is, I kind of hit a wall of numbness with God, I'm just never gonna be big like my hero. I'll never be Jack Nicholson. If we're talking about heroes, he's the reason I became an actor. Well, the guy hasn't made a movie really since The Bucket List. He made, he was in a Reese Witherspoon film for 2 seconds, playing Paul Rudd's dad, but he did that as a favor to his buddy Jim Brooks. But it's not like I'm currently inspired by Jack. I'm inspired by his films from the past. But someone who's really rocking my world these days, gosh, interesting. I mean, I certainly love and admire many people. Wow, you really stumped me. That's weird.
I can't believe I stumped you.
It's weird. Okay.
This is so great for the podcast.
Who excites me right now? Henry Rollins.
He's amazing.
He's amazing.
I love Henry.
And currently, in the moment, I got to tell you, man, if I have to do chores, which is, I mean, look, we have a cleaning crew once a month that comes. It's great. But there's still maintenance involved. And I have a regular chore schedule, essentially. I'm the guy in charge of dishes. I'm the guy in charge of trash. So when I get that going these days, I'm putting on a lot of Black Flag. Henry Black Flag. I mean, I love all incarnations of Black Flag, but... And then I'm reading his column right now in LA Weekly. And it gets me all charged up.
Yeah, he's a fantastic writer.
Yeah, and I'm also reading a book right now about Black Flag called Get in the Van. And boy, oh boy, I mean, he was such a cocksucker back in the day, And also, it ties into the fact that I just came from Washington, D.C., because I had to go out there, and Henry's from D.C.,
Right.
Black Flag, his version, started out there or whatever. But so I think Henry is definitely someone who's revving my motor right now. And he's definitely mellowed out, but he's an angry guy.
Yeah.
And I think with the state of the world and everything that's going on and everything else, I just think I think my anger has reached a zenith, and it went pop, and now it's deflating into kind of a numb complacency.
So you're a numb, complacent
Shut in.
recluse.
I think we reached finished it. This is better than therapy.
Wow.
Yeah.
I didn't think this was going to
Yeah.
turn to this, but let's go with it. So you're a non-complacent,
Yes.
numb recluse
Yes.
that loves mani-padis.
Yeah.
And you
Well,
go
I
out.
don't love them.
Well, you love
I'm
the
getting
foot
them.
in the breast area.
I didn't say I loved it. I don't.
That's what
somehow
happens.
we got.
Okay.
I'm looking at your toes,
All
and the
right.
next thing you know, we're talking. No, I didn't love that.
But you don't dislike it.
I love a massage.
Well-
I love a facial. Honestly,
You love facials?
I get
Oh, wow.
facials. I
Wow.
get facial. Listen. I have very craggy skin.
Mm-hmm.
I have big pores. I'm very unsightly, but one of the goals is to get new headshots. I haven't got new headshots in years.
Mm-hmm. Right.
Well, guess what? You can't look like such an ogre.
Right.
So I'm cleaning up a little bit. So by the time mid-August I get my headshots, I might have something going on.
Right.
See, I have sex appeal, but you really have to get to know me first.
It's kind of a numb recluse sex appeal.
Yeah.
Yeah. So you get.
I'm very popular.
The
with
the
women.
girls have to be.
How did this turn into the me show?
No, I'm not trying to have it be you. You were just interesting to start to light a match, but
But Henry. Oh, okay. So I'm drawing this book now, and Dan Klaus, the cartoonist.
can we give a little backstory because you're
Yeah.
putting out these things and the fans have no clue what
who
you're
I
going to
am?
do.
Who am I?
You're Max Koch.
Yeah.
And I'm Lorenzo Scott.
Correct.
Maybe we should have started this way.
Yeah. Everyone's tuned out by now.
Everyone is like, I would never download this.
Yeah.
Okay, that's the great thing about nonlinear editing. I can
Yes.
put this in the front.
Absolutely.
I'm Lorenzo Scott. You're Max Koch.
Mm-hmm.
The backstory is, in a very quick way, I'm a musician
Yeah.
from Los Angeles.
Yeah.
You're an actor
Yeah.
originally from Michigan.
Correct.
But
Thanks
you-
for remembering that.
I remember. And you live in Los Angeles.
Yes.
And the truth is, we're friends,
Right.
but kind of a weird way, we're also cousins.
No, we are.
We're cousins.
I consider you blood.
We're blood.
We're cousins.
Absolutely.
There's no kind of cousins.
Okay, we're kind of blood cousins.
Yeah.
And I had an idea for a podcast.
Yes.
I had a vision that we could do a podcast. And the truth is, I don't really have an idea.
Right.
But this is the idea. It might be a podcast about nothing.
Right.
But it might be an entertaining nothing.
Right.
Okay. So that's
That's
a
going to be
backstory.
up to you as you're cutting this together.
Okay. So we have you,
Yes.
headshots,
Yes.
numb recluse.
Yes. Jesus Christ.
Wow.
Kill me now.
I know, me too. Why the hell are we here? So, as life goes on,
Yeah.
you don't really want to talk to a lot of people. Although you're forced to because you're an actor.
Well, I
and-
love talking to my friends.
Yeah.
I definitely, you got to put on a show sometimes. I'll tell you what, this guy, Mark Amato, who I know, who's a very successful writer, movies, TV movies or whatever, but he came at me, he said, hey, I want you to come down and do this podcast I'm doing for Combat Radio, which they're pretty big. And I'm like, oh, okay. So, but he kind of bamboozled me because I don't really do them much these days, but I do impressions. Well, the show was about an impressionist interviewing an impressionist.
Oh, okay.
And once we got started, I was like, oh shit, I don't want to be that guy. I don't
Yeah.
want to do Gary Busey impressions right now. That's my work.
Right.
I want to have fun.
Mm-hmm.
But it turned out being really great. The point is, once I get behind a microphone, you probably can't shut me up, as you can tell.
But that's a good thing. That's
Because this
why.
is where I belong.
Right.
Yeah.
And
this is
you're-
my business.
Right. And you're interesting.
I'm primarily a voice actor. Radio is my business. That's my bread and butter. And I love talking behind a microphone.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like I can do this. So I don't know what my point is there. Oh, yeah. So we're going over what I am and what you are. So you're a drummer and a world traveler.
I am.
And what's the last place you traveled to?
I went to Turks and Caicos.
Turks and Caicos. Now, why is it called that? That's weird.
Actually, the name derives from two kinds of cactus that grow on the island.
It's so
true.
typical of you to go
Yeah.
to that place.
Yeah, it's beautiful. Beautiful
and
water.
Caicos.
Turks and Caicos.
Yeah, 'cause you like getting in
I'm
the
always
water.
I'm always Pakistani when you do
Yeah.
when you mimic me.
We are going to Turks and
I'm
Caicos.
always
And we are going with Nkoko.
You have all these freaky friends with crazy names. Everyone's exotic. All right, so what was it like? You've never been there before?
I've never been there before. I went with lovely friends of mine for my friend's 50th birthday.
This is the travel article in your magazine.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I travel. You travel. I love to see as much of the world as possible.
Right.
You know, besides just seeing as much as I can before I die.
Yeah.
You know, it's also, you talk about people, it's a really good reminder that the more people you meet, you realize that we're just all the same.
Right.
You know, so we're all
That's
just
beautiful.
We're all just one human family. But I love the water, and I love snorkeling, and I love.
And that's what you did down in
Yeah,
Turks and
every
Caicos?
day. Snorkel with sharks and lobsters and spotted eagle rays. And
Now you're one of these guys that
beautiful
doesn't
stuff.
care about dangerous country. Like you talked me into driving deep into Mexico for 12 hours to swim with whale sharks. And
Mm-hmm. Right.
it was a rite of passage. It was a great trip. And I was worried about, being abducted and having my head chainsawed off. So would you right now, in the climate of the world, would you go to, say, Afghanistan?
No.
Why? You?
I'm not stupid.
Okay.
I mean, I might be adventuresome, but
Right.
I'm not stupid.
Okay.
You know, yes, I love whale sharks.
Would you go to Syria?
No.
Okay. Do you have nightmares of being beheaded?
No.
'Cause I do.
No. I mean, not in
I
LA.
have a recurring nightmare where I'm walking my dogs at night and a black van pulls up and men in hoods jump out, grab me, pull me away, shoot my dogs, take me to a dark room, and behead me.
Wow.
And I always wake up in a terrible sweat.
That's insane.
With my
Is that
heart pounding.
attributed to any certain food you eat before you go to bed?
No.
It's like
I-
after Chinese food or something?
Listen, no. The worst food I eat before I go to bed is, strawberries? I mean, seriously, I don't...
Wow.
No.
Maybe you should cut down on strawberries. I think strawberries and
A lot
beheadings
of
might go together.
terrible nightmares. I have nightmares of chains coming out of the ceiling.
What?
Oh yeah,
Dude.
and hooking into my chest and ripping me apart like Hellraiser. But I don't let that ruin my life. I don't have to go get dream therapy or anything.
Well, it's not enhancing
it's
your
just
life.
my brain taking in a horrible giant shit.
Maybe it's just your brain saying that you need to scrap the old you and grow a new head.
Yeah, I know. I've always got to change. Now the show's just depressing. We were talking about
Instead of magazine, we
Kooks
should
and Cuckoos.
call
and
it
swimming
Thorazine.
with fish. Thorazine, the magazine. I like that. But you don't have these problems because you're not like me. You don't get depressed or
Not too much.
Bummed
I
out?
got music, man. Music is my drug.
still bummed out about David Bowie's death.
Yeah. I just bought his new album yesterday, actually.
Okay, yeah.
Black Star. Fantastic.
Yeah, it's good stuff.
It was amazing.
Those videos are
It's
really
unbelievable.
haunting.
And he knew he was going to
He
die.
knew he was gonna die, so he made
didn't.
an art project out
Yeah,
of it.
exactly.
You gotta love that.
Fantastic.
Wow.
Just genius.
Yeah.
Very heart-wrenching and sad and fantastic.
I always liked him, but I was never this major Bowie freak. And it was so interesting, especially with fucking social media, which I know you avoid. It's so interesting how much that dude meant to people. I mean,
But he was not just a guy who was in an era.
Right.
He morphed with every era since
Yeah.
the late 60s.
Yeah.
So, in a way, you grew with him. He didn't really grow with you. He sort of told you what was cool.
yeah.
And then you went, oh, okay, that's cool. I'm going to go do that now. He did that musically. He never was satisfied. So if you look chronologically at his albums,
Yeah.
he is morphing and changing. And he's in rock, he's in pop, he's in soul, he's doing R&B, he's doing
Right.
jazz, he's doing, performance art. So he was just an artist, period.
Yeah. Spectacular actor.
He played sax, guitar, bass,
Wow,
keyboards,
really?
and he sang, and a great actor. Did you see him play Tesla?
the car?
No, he played a car.
Yeah.
But-
He could.
I guess
if
he could.
anyone could, he could
no,
get away
he
with it.
played Nikola Tesla
I don't know who that is.
in a movie that was about two magicians. I can't remember the name. He was fantastic.
Oh, I think I know. Was that directed by the guy who directed the Batman movies?
Yeah.
Starts with an I. Listen to us. You really should just call this Going Senile.
Yeah, we'll call this basically a mind
Hugh
fart.
Jackman's in it. He plays a magician.
Yeah.
Bowie's in it.
And Bowie's in it.
Who the fuck directed those Batman?
Okay, this-
Christopher Nolan.
That's it. Yeah, starts with an I.
The Illusionist,
Yes.
right?
Yes.
Okay.
All right.
So Bowie was in that.
This is called Dementia Magazine.
I love him in Bowie in The Last Temptation of Christ. as
Yeah.
Pilot.
Yeah. He was
comes
great.
on at the end there and
Yeah.
just pulls the rug out from
Right.
the whole thing.
Yeah.
And then
There's Merry Christmas, Mr. Lawrence.
yeah, oh my God, I remember that.
He's in the concentration
This
camp.
is not America. No, this is not. Na 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 na.
And The Hunger, he played
Oh,
a
my
vampire.
God, fantastic.
Oh, how great was he in The Hunger,
Catherine
man?
Deneuve.
Ooh, the nerve of her being so good.
So Max, this was a lot of fun.
I had fun. Is it over?
Yeah,
Oh.
I think this our first episode is coming to a close, but this was great, and I hope everyone out there found it interesting. and we're totally done. We have absolutely zero to say. We're spent. All of our ideas are out of our head. We're about to.
We put ourselves to sleep.
I hope you enjoyed the first episode of Magazine, and I'm Lorenzo Scott.
I'm Max Koch.
And until next time, take it easy.
You know what I like about this magazine? At the end of it, a bunch of white cardboard cards didn't come out like they do in magazines.
Right, because we're not asking you to subscribe to anything.
Right. I can use those as bookmarks, but none of those came out.
Right. You can't even use this podcast as like a doorstop or something.
It was very clean.
Yeah. If you don't like it, all you can do is throw it in the trash.
I look forward to next week.
I can't wait.